And welcome back to the Plastic Crack Show. I'm your host Lee, and we've got a Combiner Wars Chop Shop. Of course, from the Transformers Generation range, 2016, 2015, I think. And of course, these are the smaller ones, so there's not a lot to it. It's a figure on a blister card. The artwork's quite nice. It looks quite pretty. You can sort of see it there, hopefully. And you can see, of course, Chop Shop there. Of course, you get this nice little card included. It's something they're doing nowadays, and of course it's telling you it's a 10-step transformation. It gives you a little blurb, of course, about him being, of course, a master thief, wants to steal everything, and it has it in half a dozen different languages. And of course, as we come down there, we have our typical age requirements. Of course, on the back it says not recommended for people under the age of 3, and on the front, of course, it has recommended age 8+. So as always, Hasbro gets it a bit confused. 8+ on the front, not under 3 on the back. And of course, past that, we've of course got standard Hasbro Transformers, all the good stuff. And that's really it for the card. We didn't come to look at the card, we came to look at the figure. So let's get him off the card. And it's pretty easy. I know some people are probably going to be crying, but it is what it is. We don't buy these things to keep them pretty. And of course, Hasbro tends to stick these things good nowadays, so it's quite a challenge at times to get them off. But there we go, it's off. Get that card out. The card's always stuck quite well. There we go. Throw the box away, we don't want it. And of course, we get these wonderfully tightly folded little instruction book on how to transform him. And of course, we have one for robot to beast, and then robot to machine, then machine to robot. Fairly simplistic stuff. We of course get the nice little trading card, if you will, which is just again a nice little piece of artwork for Chop Shop, and then just the Transformers Generations insignia on the back, and that just can be pulled out of its sleeve and put somewhere safe. It's nice to get that. It does feel good to get a nice little sturdy piece of card. And of course, then we have a Chop Shop, and as always, there's a heap of little tags holding him in, little plastic grips. So we will find a set of clippers, and we will free Chop Shop from his plastic trap. And we've found something to get him out. And there's no right or wrong way to do this, as long as you don't cut him himself, because he is plastic, and obviously if you're not careful, you can damage him. As always, the two that are the hardest are the two around the bodies and arms. So just going to go on the back and just give them a free up. Hopefully it has freed him up enough, is it? No. Oh well. Don't like cutting them near their arms because, they're plastic, they can get damaged. And the other one, and I haven't got a very good set of cutters. Don't buy cheap cutters. This is the magical, and there we go, he's free. And of course, again, just a piece of dirty clear plastic. And of course, that's a nice little look at a close-up of Chop Shop. And it's a very busy figure. There's a lot going on. Of course, being an Insecticon, we expect that, but there's some nice mouldings. And of course, it is that entry-level price, so it is that little bit cheaper sort of joints. Everything's those sort of removable, easy to fall apart joints, so if you press it too hard, you could actually just pop them out, and over time they get hard to stand. So it's one of those ones, if you play with it a lot, and there's the other arm, but they have good range of movement, so you can position them quite well to get that nice look. And see, again, the knee has some very nice movement. That obviously gets in the way, but you step it right forward so you can get that really weird pose of him sitting down if you really wanted to. There we go. You'll actually sit. There we go. Chop Shop sitting. So that's robot mode. It's quite what you would expect, nothing terribly exciting. And of course we'll go to vehicle, well, to robot mode, to, in this case, beast mode, but of course it would be vehicle mode if he was a car. It doesn't really matter. So we need to do that. Reference to the instructions reveals much and little as well. So the chest plate comes, so the chest plate actually will flick forward, if we can get it in camera, forward, then flicks up like that, and you'll end up with something that looks a bit like, come back out a bit, let's zoom out. You end up with something that looks a bit like that. So the head's now down here. These then just come up like that. Then the legs spin. So they will now turn. So the leg will turn. And this is what I was talking about. See, straight up, hips disconnected. These joints will do that. It does mean that the vehicle, yeah, the toy will last longer, but it does also become a problem. Then the arm comes around. That doesn't work for me too well. The instructions are never very good. Aha. So we're going to flick the arms in. Even though it doesn't tell me to do that, that is exactly what we're going to do. So now you start getting something that's looking a bit like that. These legs have to come out. So they will just flick out like that. And same here, they just flick out like that, and these arms can then come in. These feet will then flick down. And this should all come together. Something along, oh, here we go. It says they should connect like that, but, and there's certainly a click point there, but it's not wanting to click at the moment. So let's see if we can get it to dance like that, and then in 2 seconds we'll be right. This is probably why I should transform a toy before I actually do a video. So this plate here spins around on the leg. This one is exactly the same. It will spin around. And that docking I was talking about before will now work quite well, and they will clip in like that. And then that apparently is supposed to just go like that. I don't like that. I think that looks weird, but seems to be the way they do it. It seems to them meant to be coming around like that and something like that. I'm not sold on that idea. It looks weird and it looks upside down, so we're going to see if we can figure this one out. There seems to be no swivel on the... So we'll be back in a moment. I have a sneaky suspicion we've missed something. We had, again, these instructions aren't entirely clear. So if you were to look there, there's this hip joint. This hip joint actually folds down. Once it folds down, we can then bring these legs up, turn them, click them back together because they've just come apart, and we end up with Chop Shop in beetle mode or bug mode or insecticon mode, whatever mode you like to think of. And there's a couple of little tabs which the arms can tab into to hold it in place. And then we have Chop Shop as an insecticon, and it's quite it's quite nice, very colourful. Of course there's a docking there if we want to add a weapon to him. Obviously he doesn't come with a weapon, but being Combiner Wars he will get one, and he sits quite aggressively, if you will, on a flat surface. And one day I'll invest in a Lazy Susan, but before then I'll probably invest in a better camera. So that was Chop Shop from Combiner Wars. fairly cheap. You can pick him up around the place quite inexpensively. I didn't invest more than $10 buying him. So quite a good investment. And quite a cute little addition to anyone's Transformers collection. So that was the Plastic Crack Show. I was your host Lee. Sorry for all the confusion, and we will see you next time.